Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's KGivesGP here once again with a brand new video for you today, and this time it's once again Formula Xbox. It's season 6 and it's round 3, and we are here in China for what promises to be an interesting race. It's been so unpredictable so far this season. It's been like F1 2012 all over again in regards to the fact that we've had 2 different winners in the first 2 races. The championship's all been shaken up. There's about 9 or 10 drivers who are capable of winning races, or at least demonstrated so in the opening 2 rounds. So heading into China, we're thinking we're going to get our 3rd different winner in 3 races potentially. So as we go to select the tyre compounds now, it's an interesting one at the Shanghai International Circuit because tyre wear is at the extreme end of the spectrum. So we've gone for the harder option to give ourselves 2 sets of medium tyres for the race, and ultimately they did pay dividend in the end. But here we're just crossing the line now for the end of our first quali lap, and we didn't actually want to qualify on the super soft tyres. That was merely a banker lap to try and put a lap on the board so that if we messed up our soft tyre run, then we at least had something there to go on. So now on the soft tyre run, which we want to be our main quali lap, we throw it into turn 1 now, bringing it out wide for a late apex at turn 2, which we hit now, and then down the hill into turn 3. As you can see, we're just on the delta, precisely on the delta in fact, flashing from green to red as we accelerate and go up through the gears, heading through now down into turn 6. So on the brakes now, downshifting all the way down into 2nd gear, a little bit late on the downshifts there, which just forced me a touch wide on the exit. But now we're going up through the gears once again, heading into the chicane that is turns 7 and 8. And it's really tricky. You want to get a good line through both of these. Missed the apex marginally on turn 8. Would have liked to have been a bit tighter as we brake now for turn 9, but we've made up a lot of time on our delta there, so we're actually doing better than our super soft run on the soft tyres. Of course, on that red mark super soft though, we weren't pushing to the max. As we get on the brakes now into turn 11, we've thrown it all away because we've invalidated the lap time. We just got on the brakes a little bit too early, which compromised our entry, and when you're running on a pad, it's not ideal, very suboptimal in fact, to have to make a correction. So we didn't go in the pits again because we only had 1 set of soft tyres. So I said tyre wear was going to be critical, and we're going to have to make a run on the 2nd lap on this particular run on the soft tyres, which means we're going to have to start the race on 2 lap old softs. But this is our best quali lap, so sit back and enjoy guys as we head through turn 3 now and getting on the power nice and smoothly. Little kick of oversteer on the exit, nothing that we can't manage though, as we're now up quite significantly on our delta time. And as we get on the brakes now, heading into turn 5 and accelerating out as we head through turn 7 and 8. It's always tricky to try and get the best line, as I said, through here, and obviously with our tyres now at 8% on both front wheel tyres, we want to try and manage that degradation, and we're going to try and keep a little bit in hand this lap just so we don't hurt the tyres too badly. And speaking of hurt the tyres too badly, we've gone horrendously wide through turn 9, which has really hurt us there. We just got a little bit crossed up on the exit of the chicane, and that just hung us out to dry on the exit of 9. So now it's all about getting a good run onto the straight when you get out of the long sweeping turn 13. Don't want to get too far off on the berm because it's very dirty offline as the marbles get kicked up quite significantly there. And as you can see, we're getting on the DRS now. We're only just up on our delta time, but I did back off quite a lot on our super soft run on this braking zone. So as we get down the gears all the way down into 2nd, nail the apex at the hairpin, which we have done. And so we're on 11% now wear on the front left, and it's very much front left limited. Not ideal, but as we come through the final corner now, where is this quali lap going to put us? We're half a second almost up on our delta time, and it's gone P7 with a 1:36.1. So we'll take it. It's not ideal to have done 2 laps on the soft tyre, and I was very frustrated at the time, having made that mistake on the first run on, ultimately a circuit where qualifying doesn't particularly matter. It just matters that you've got a solid race tyre to start on. We're on the right compound, but we're on a compound that's done 2 laps, or 1 lap too many, depending on how you view it. But as you can see, the grid, a lot of people went for the soft tyres, a lot of people just forgot about qualifying, went for the race strategy, and to be fair, it's probably the most sensible of calls. We've got 6 drivers that have taken the super soft option, and congratulations to Lars on his pole position on debut. But to be fair, I think that might be the wrong strategy for the race. But ultimately, that's my call. The running I did in practice suggested that you could go soft, medium, which is the strategy that we selected on there, the high tyre management strategy. In fairness, if the softs became a little bit marginal in the first stint. Then I was planning on reverting to a soft medium, hence picking the more balanced tyre strategy at the beginning to give myself 2 sets of medium tyres to run during the race. So from P8 now on the grid, we've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we don't go. No, we've got stuck in neutral. We didn't upshift to first, and that's dropped us a whole heap of positions as Prototype Budgie passes us. Maestro passes us on the outside now, and there's big contact in turn 1. The 2 Ferraris have come to grief. There's a Renault spinning out. I've made a beeline for the runoff area just to try and get out of trouble. We've also got an illegal overtake on Elusive Kev in amongst all that carnage, so we've just about got away with it. We've somehow not taken any damage on our front wing, which is somewhat of a miracle, to be fair. But it all got very claustrophobic at the apex of turn 1, and for the 3rd race in a row, there's been an incident in the first lap. So now, as we're down in P12 after our shocking start and our shocking turn 1, it's all gone very much Pete Tong for us in the opening stages here, as Elusive Kev runs a little bit wide, and that's going to open the door for us now as we head into turn 8. We've gone around the outside of him there. Prototype Budgie and Silent Mole are ahead, so Prototype Budgie on our inside now, but he's gone deep. So we're going to pick him off for P10, and we've got Luke, the reigning champion, up ahead of us, and I think he was involved in that turn 1 kerfuffle, and therefore might have a bit of front wing damage, hence his pace at the moment. So hopefully we'll pick him off as we head now through turn 13, looking to get a good run onto the straight to try and get past Luke now, but he's very slow. Must be a bit of front wing damage there for him. So we get now onto the straight. We're going to be activating. We would be activating the DRS if it was a little bit later on in the race, but I don't think we're going to need it. We're going to try and outbrake Luke as we head into the braking zone. Brake just after the 150 metre board, downshift a second. We've gone a little bit deep. He's going to get the cutback on us, but if he has got a bit of wing damage, he's most likely going to be boxing roundabout now. Absolutely. So he dives into the pit lane for a very early first stop. He's surely going to be forced to run at least medium, or potentially have to run a softer compound towards the end of the race and capitalise on the speed advantage over people like me. So as we head now onto lap 4, we've got up into P4 as the super soft runners had to stop as we go very wide in turn 1. But lap 5 we could only go 1 lap longer than what the super soft runners did, which was a little bit disappointing, but in fairness to be expected given how we struggled in qualifying and had to do an extra lap on the soft tyres. So boxing now, and we're going to put on a set of medium compounds. I would have rather gone to the soft, but having done that extra lap in qualifying, it's forced my hand somewhat with regards to strategy. So it's going to be a soft, medium tyre strategy. Hopefully that'll get us to the end of the race, and we're going to have to try and manage these tyres. I'm thinking maybe a lap 16 pit stop at this point, so 10 laps on a medium tyre. I was managing 12 in practice quite comfortably, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. But as we see Prototype Budgie now just ahead of us, we're going to try and make the move. We've gone a little bit close to him at turn 2 there. That was very close for comfort as we head now through turn 3, and we're going to try and get a good run out of here and hopefully try and get him into the braking zone at turn 5. So we've got a bit of oversteer on the exit there. That's compromised us a little bit, but we're still close enough, so we jink out to the inside later on the brakes than the McLaren, and we've made the move stick. So lovely block pass on the exit there. Now Scott, i.e. Prototype Budgie, was trying a one-stop strategy. Rather ambitious, but what that did mean is that he had to manage his tyres like stink in the opening stages to try and make that strategy work. As we see Project 994 dived into the pits as well, which was a big help to us because it meant we didn't have to clear the Sauber. So now, on lap 16, we've been managing our tyres. We're planning on pitting on this particular lap, and we've got Jeff telling us to change our strategy, which to be fair would have probably been a decent call, potentially 1 lap too late, as we have actually got a puncture on the left front tyre. I was on about 68% wear, 69% wear, and I knew I was going to run it close, but ultimately lap 16 the tyres just let go about half a lap earlier than we wanted it to. And ultimately it's seriously compromised our race now, because we're going to have to struggle back to the pit lane with 3 wheels on our wagon. This is disaster for us. We're already down to P8 before we even make the pit stop, and crucially that's only after 10 laps on a medium tyre. If I'm now going to get to the end of the race and make this 2-stop work, I've now got to do 12 laps on the next set of mediums. So granted, I didn't manage this set of tyres as much as I could have done. I took way too much life out of them in the early stages, thinking that 10 laps on a medium was going to be an absolute doddle. and unfortunately it turned out to not be the case at all. And it just shows that on this game, if you don't look after those tyres, it will bite you. So we come out on the medium compound now, knowing that we're not going to be very racy towards the end of this race, because we've got to try and preserve this tyre as much as possible, as we just finished a virtual safety car period and we've got prototype Budgie right ahead of us again. We've been in the mix of this McLaren the whole race, and now as we see, he takes a bit of a tighter line through turn 1, and that's going to compromise him through turn 2 and 3. And he blocks us there. Very nicely done, very nice defensive driving from Scott, but we've got a better run than him. We're on the outside now, heading through down into turn 5, so late on the brakes, as late as possible, and he's blocked us again. We tried to get the cut back, we couldn't quite do it. We've got better traction though on the fresher tyres, and that's meant us, we are now up into the points paying positions, back up into P10, and we've got the job done once again on the McLaren as we head through turns 5, 6 and 7. So ultimately, happy to be back in the points, and as you can see, as people stopped, we managed to get all the way up into P7. But crucially, now we've got Luke behind us, the silent mole. We can't really fight him, because as you can see, we're on 37% wear on the left front already, and I'm A, massively conscious of what happened to our medium tyres last time, and B, massively conscious that Luke's on the soft tyre anyway. He's going to pass us at some point. Hence I give up the ghost on that one. I let him through, knowing that it's pointless trying to battle him, and eventually could cause myself a puncture because of it and throw away what points I can salvage. So ultimately, as we head now, he gets a big moment on the exit of the last corner as well, and I nearly follow him into it there, but we're not going to be able to keep pace with him. We're just going to eat up all the DRS that we can and gain as the advantages that we can to try and keep ahead of Hickey in the closing stages, because Hickey, like Luke, is going to be charging at us. As we see now, lap 26, a couple of laps to go, Comundo is coming out of the pits, and again, he is on the super soft compound, so I think I'm going to be powerless to defend against him when he does cruise up to the back of me. And inevitably, now I'm on 48 and now 52% tyre wear, there is absolutely no point in fighting him too hard. However, it is P7, and I do have a little bit of a cheeky defensive move, or a little bit of a late move there, but he does jink to the outside, and really it's easy. And as we get on the brakes now, someone's moved the 150 metre pool. I nearly hit the back of him there. That was a heart in mouth moment. The 150 metre ball, my reference point for the braking zone, has been taken out, and well, I nearly took out Comundo there. That would have been an absolute disaster and probably would have ended both of our races. Speaking of end of the race, it's lap 28, the final lap, and as we come home in P7 now, poor old surprise me, Josh had a bit of an issue on the last lap there and dropped all the way down from P2, I believe, and we managed to pick him off on the final lap. So it's a P7 finish in China after what was a very busy race, from my absolutely diabolical Max Verstappen-esque start off the line to my puncture on lap 16 to my evasive manoeuvres at turn 1. It was a busy one, but I hope you've enjoyed that particular race. A big thank you to the organisers of Formula Xbox, i.e. Midge, for hosting the league once again. Next time out will be in Russia, which I know my teammate Drastic Devil is very, very happy about, given that he is a bit of a Russia specialist. But hopefully it'll be a better weekend for Red Bull, as he actually retired as well late on. So if you've enjoyed, please like and share this particular video. We'll be back with some more Formula Xbox content very, very soon indeed. But for now, at least, folks, it's goodbye.